What is going on, guys? Mango 12 and we finally have the release of the all new, all different, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 1. And you're probably asking yourself, Rango, why is this review like double the length of the usual reviews? Well, that's because this is a pretty big freaking comic. And not only that, but you know like how we're getting all of these new series that are coming along with this. So you know like the all new, all different Miles Morales series, the Spider-Man 2099 series, the Silk series, etc. Well, this comic actually sets up those comics. So for instance, in the new Spider-Man 2099 series, Miguel O'Hara is going to be working for Parker Industries. Well, at the end of this comic, we actually get like 4 mini-stories towards those comics, and in one of those mini-stories, we see Peter offer Miguel O'Hara the job to work at Parker Industries. So if you get what I mean, this comic is kind of setting up the pathway for those other comics that are starting. So yeah, hopefully you understand all that, and obviously I'll be talking more about it when we get up to those mini stories towards the end of the issue. But until then, I just want to let you guys know that I am doing a physical comic giveaway for this issue, and the only thing you need to do to enter the giveaway is like the picture of the comic on my Instagram. You can let me know what you thought about this comic, you can let me know which series you are looking forward to in the future, or anything along those lines. As long as you like the picture, then you'll be entered into the giveaway, and I will choose a winner when The Amazing Spider-Man issue 2 releases. But anyway, we might as well jump into this issue because I know you guys are excited for it, I'm excited for it, and well, we've already wasted enough time as it is, so let's go! So as the issue opens up, we get thrown into Peter Parker doing an advertisement for a new piece of technology called the Webware, obviously designed by Parker Industries, and you can see that it's worldwide entirely and sounds like the greatest device on the planet. And you can even see that he's even got Spider-Man on his advertisement, and no, nobody knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, that is still a secret. Now, one of the many things that has changed since Secret Wars is that Peter is now running Parker Industries worldwide, Spider-Man is now worldwide, and he has a kick-ass Spider-Man-mobile, or Spider-Mobile, whichever one you want to call it. Now, as a first impressions to the Spider-Mobile and everything like that, honestly, in my opinion, I'm not too bothered about it. I kind of feel like they've just given him a Spider-Mobile for the sake of him having a Spider-Mobile, but obviously it's only the first issue, so we're probably going to see some innovation into this and probably see him use it in various ways. However, maybe it's one of those things that the writers like Dan Slott are doing, you know, like where Batman has a Batmobile, so they just thought it was a bit of a joke to give Spider-Man a Spider-Mobile just to try it. And then maybe he might not even keep the Spider-Mobile, this might be the only time he uses it, who knows. But either way, I do think that it's rather interesting, but as you can see, I think he's causing more damage on the ground now, because enemies are trying to shoot him, instead of him swinging through the air, so yeah. One of the things that I think gets thrown in your face right from the get-go is that Parker Industries is doing incredibly well worldwide, and not only that, but now even S.H.I.E.L.D. rely on Parker Industries to create technology for them. You could even see Nick Fury trying to tell Spider-Man something, and Spider-Man literally called the shots and said, "Hell no, Nick Fury, it's coming back to Parker Industries." And I thought that was awesome. Spider-Man Peter Parker taking charge. And it really seems like Spider-Man has upped his game, he's got his life together, etc. I mean, even his Spider-Mobile sticks to walls. Now, obviously that's a given because it's a Spider-Mobile, but it's still awesome to see. Now, going into like plot points and plot devices and stuff like that, one of the main things that I can see coming out of this, especially with this new technology called the Webware, this Webware is all around the world, it's always connected to the internet, and it also seems to be a very, very popular device. Now, can any of you guys see where I'm going with this? It's like the perfect piece of technology to allow someone to take over the world. Now, I'll get more into that when we get to the end of the issue, and I can talk about a few more things once you've seen them, but right now on screen you can see that Spider-Man's been busy creating new technology for his web shooters, and has just become an overall badass. Now, in these panels, you can get a really awesome look at his new suit. Now, recently, we haven't really seen much of his new suit. We haven't seen how he's made it, why he's got a new suit, or anything along those lines. But hopefully, we'll see that in, like, the next few issues, maybe. Maybe we'll get, like, an origin story to his new suit. But it kind of resembles Superior Spider-Man. Now, I'll get into all that craziness with Superior Spider-Man and everything like that at the end of the issue, but right now you can see on screen that Spider-Man has been teaming up with allies, especially with Mockingbird, and she obviously helps to take down these guys, but you can see that Spider-Man is keeping some of his humour in this comic as well, and there's actually quite an abundance of that, which I didn't really expect because Peter has become like a little bit more serious in his life, with Parker Industries getting his life together, etc., but when he's Spider-Man, he's more humorous than ever, which is awesome. So in case you're wondering what this villain is doing here, basically he takes a bite of this thing in his mouth and it causes him to have a seizure. Almost exactly like that bad guy out of the first Captain America movie where he steals the super soldier serum and then Captain America gets him and then he starts having a seizure in his arms. The only difference here being is that Spider-Man has created something at Parker Industries to counteract this thing to stop him from having this seizure. So in other words, this guy isn't going to escape at all. Something else this comic loves to do is introduce us to some new characters, and one of them looks like, is it Lian Tang or something along those lines, or Miss Tang anyway. And I'm not actually familiar with her, but I've actually tried doing some research on her and nothing came up. I literally typed in her name and then Marvel Comics and all of that crazy stuff, and absolutely nothing came up except for some plans for a motorway. So yeah, I don't think that was it. Now, one of the many things that we're familiar with Spider-Man and Peter Parker is that he's got to balance both his personal life and his superhero life, whereas now he's got to balance his personal life, his business life, and his superhero life, and it kind of looks like his superhero life and his business life have kind of merged together, but only slightly. Now, Peter's jumping out of his Spider-Man costume and into his Parker Industries suit, going out there to do a worldwide press conference, and it really seems like Peter's got his plans together. It really seems like he knows what he's doing, until we get that little hint of the Parker look, where he's actually got his fly down on his pants mid-press conference, and that's just really embarrassing. But it really shows that even though Peter seems to have everything under control, he still lets those little things slip through the cracks, and that's just awesome. It's really nice to see that Dan Slott hasn't forgotten about how Peter Parker is supposed to be, and the way he's integrated it into this more punctual Peter Parker is just awesome. So again, this comic loves to introduce us to some new characters, but also to some old characters, especially Max Modell. Is that how you pronounce his name? Max Modell or Modell or whatever? Anyway, the guy that used to run Horizon Labs back when Superior Spider-Man was Superior Spider-Man. And you'll remember that Peter Parker and Max Modell haven't really been on talking terms, mainly because when Superior Spider-Man started the Spider-Verse, remember, the entire Horizon Labs building imploded on itself and literally left a hole in the middle of New York. And we can see right here that as a wedding present, Peter has actually given this building the name Horizon University, and it almost seems like maybe Horizon Labs could possibly be coming back in the form of a university. So I expect to see that quite a lot in this Amazing Spider-Man series. And something else that I can't forget to talk about is that it almost looks like Sajani Jaffrey and Peter Parker are almost in a relationship. But what you've got to remember is that in the previous The Amazing Spider-Man comics, before the Secret Wars kicked off, Sajani Jaffrey was trying to sabotage the projects going on at Parker Industries and actually working with the Black Cat. Now, I'll get into that a little bit further into the comic, but you can see on screen right now that the Zodiac villains who were at the beginning of this comic have actually returned, and this time they've returned for Peter Parker himself. And of course, they want that watch on Peter Parker's wrist, and obviously that's the webware, which I was talking about at the beginning of the issue, and I mean, it's pretty much only just been unveiled, and already villains want it, and the reason why they want Peter Parker's is because it has access to certain things that normal people's webwares don't. So as you've probably gathered already, Hobie Brown has actually taken up the mantle as Spider-Man just to throw people off and make them think that Spider-Man is actually worldwide, and not only that, but to throw them off thinking that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Now, no, Peter Parker is still the one true Spider-Man. Hobie Brown is kind of just there as a one-time off thing. And in case some of you guys don't know who Hobie Brown is, he's actually the Prowler. But he actually starts to get his ass handed to him. So Peter Parker actually gives up his webware and throws it to the Zodiac villains. But he actually encrypts it before it gives it to him. So obviously he's got a little bit of time to get that back before they crack the codes. But I'm more concerned with why they want it. Like, why does this mysterious Zodiac villain group want these webwares? What is their plan? And we're probably going to figure that out in the future issues. But are they going to be a major threat, or are they just kind of like side villains for the main villain to make an appearance? We'll have to wait and see what's going on with that. Now, something that I just want to point out really quick is that someone there in the crowd actually says it won't be long until we're turning into lizards and giant spiders again. So does that mean that he remembers the Spider Island event in Secret Wars, or is he talking about the original Spider Island event? What do you guys think? Now, another incredible thing to see was Peter standing up to Sajani and actually questioning her about whether she's working with the Zodiac, and of course he knows that she was working with Black Cat. So it's almost like the Secret Wars didn't even happen. Now, after Peter confronts her about this, we go back over to Parker Industries, where we see Anna Maria for the very first time since before the Secret Wars event. And Sajani talks to her about the nanotech program, and that's actually what was going on before the Secret Wars event happened. Sajani seems to be still trying to sabotage Parker Industries, and we get this incredible tease at the very end of the issue, something that we did not see coming. Dr. Octopus has returned in the form of that little robot helper at Parker Industries. And obviously, some of you guys will know how he's done it and some of you won't. Well, actually, you remember in Spider-Verse, Superior Spider-Man's watch said going into sleep mode for 100 days. So obviously, it's been 100 days now, and this is what's happened. When the watch activated again, it's obviously brought Dr. Octopus's consciousness back to life. And the bad thing about that? Well, he's in Parker Industries, and what's worse about that? People are wearing this webware technology device all around the world, always connected to the internet. So technically, this is a really easy way for Dr. Octopus to take over the world. And I am so counting on that happening. It's going to be awesome. Now, the issue continues to set up Spider-Man 2099's new series that's coming out next week. Now, just to point out really quick, guys, these aren't previews of the new issues that are coming out next week. These are literally part of the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, which is setting up the issues that are coming out next week. So this, what you're seeing right now, is not part of Spider-Man 2099 issue 1 or Silk issue 1 or anything like that. These are literally put in this Amazing Spider-Man issue to show you where these characters are now and why they're doing what they're doing in the issues next week. And as you can see, these guys are trying to get a loan, and some guy runs in trying to rob a bank, and he demands money and then just straight up shoots the person that is going to give him the money, which does not make sense. Now, Spider-Man appears to take this guy down, and he's pretty angry. And when I say angry, I mean like he wants to kill this guy. And the reason for that? Well, it turns out that he actually shot and killed the little girl that was trying to get that loan at the beginning. Now, one thing that I actually want to stress to you guys is that everybody is all living in one universe now. There is no Ultimate Universe, there is no 616 Universe, or anything along those lines. So basically, Spider-Man 2099, Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, and any other character from a different universe is all living in the same universe. So whilst Peter Parker is running Parker Industries and everything like that, Spider-Man 2099 and Miles Morales Spider-Man are swinging around New York City. So yes, Miles Morales and everyone is living in the same universe as 616 Peter Parker. And you can see right here that Miguel O'Hara is quitting being Spider-Man, is going to work for Parker Industries instead. And Spider-Man 2099's new series that's kicking off next week is actually going to portray Miguel O'Hara working for Parker Industries and actually getting a new Spider-Man costume. But anyway, now we go over into the Silk preview, which is setting up Silk's new series that's coming out. And it's pretty much about her working for the Black Cat. Yes, you heard me say that. Silk is working with the Black Cat. But as you can see right now, Silk is actually tracking down this deposit box that was actually stolen from Parker Industries, and Silk actually says sorry Pete as if she's doing something that she's going to regret. And what I love is that this gang actually resembles the Goblins, and she even makes a joke at the beginning talking about how they haven't got their gliders yet. And it's very reminiscent of like the gangs out of DC Comics, you know, like where gangs wear Joker masks and Penguin masks, just like in the Batman Arkham games. Now, as I've said already, Silk is actually working with Black Cat to steal this safety deposit box. And here's a little theory that I think is going down. I think Black Cat knows something that Silk needs, and in order for her to get this, she's making Silk go out and do these crimes or get stuff for her or something along those lines. And obviously it's probably going to rack up something major that's probably going to take down Spider-Man, because Black Cat is a little bit on edge about Spider-Man recently. She's gone a little bit psycho. And as you can see, what's in the safety deposit box? Well, who knows, but that will be continued in Silk issue 1. Now, the next character being set up is Spider-Woman, and in case you guys don't know, in Spider-Woman's new series, she's actually pregnant, which in my opinion is a little bit weird. I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Woman. You've probably noticed that I haven't finished all the reviews for Spider-Woman, but that's mainly because she became kind of an uninteresting character. I kind of fell behind on a few issues, and then she doesn't really interest me that much, so I haven't really had that feeling to go back to those comics yet and review them. But why is she pregnant all of a sudden? Like obviously this takes place months after Secret Wars. Like this issue, the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, takes place months after Secret Wars has happened. But still, like, why would you randomly decide to make a superhero pregnant? Like, I don't understand that, but maybe it'll amount to something else in the future. I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll get a kid Spider-Woman, which will be like the equivalent of Peter Parker's Annie out of Renew Your Vows or something like that. I don't know. But it seems to be focusing on Spider-Woman maintaining her Spider-Woman abilities, you know, like fighting and everything like that, whilst also going through the pressure of bringing up a baby, and maybe even have some villains try and kill her baby. I have no idea. That seems a little bit dark. But yeah. So that was the setup for the new Spider-Woman series releasing later this month. And now we throw it on over to the year 1602, and in case you guys don't know what this is, you know, like in the Spider-Verse Secret Wars comics where it was Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man India, Spider-Man UK, Spider-Man Noir, etc. They've pretty much teamed up to create a team called Web Warriors, and they pretty much travel to alternate universes saving people. And the art style looks awesome. So yes, every single art style that you're seeing in these previews is actually going to be the art style that's in those comics when they release. Now these guys are going up against the Sinister Six of the year 1602, and I absolutely love the look of Hobgoblin. He looks absolutely ridiculous. He looks like something out of a Halloween costume, but it's brilliant. But most of all, I think Electro is the craziest one. I mean, he looks like the scariest. And in case you guys don't know, the Web Warriors series that's releasing, which I of course will be reviewing, the main villain that they're going to be tracking down is Electro. Because as you can see on screen, he's actually disappeared. And you could see right there that he's actually gone into Spider-Man UK's wristwatch, or it was either Spider-Man Noir's wristwatch, and he's come back with them through the portal to the Master Weaver. So he's bombing it around there somewhere with these guys, so they've got to try and find him, and that's going to be awesome. So yes guys, that is the Web Warriors series. You can see that on screen right now, and that's releasing, I think that's next week or it's sometime this month. But of course I'll be reviewing it for you guys. And now onto the main event, the new Miles Morales comic series known as Spider-Man. I actually made a video of this when it first got announced, so if you want to check that video out, then you're pretty much going to find out that Spider-Man is going to be the main Spider-Man, and you're going to find out what he's going to be doing in that series, etc. So you can click that in the top right corner right now. And as you can see on screen, it looks absolutely incredible. The art style, just the whole way Miles Morales looks and moves is awesome. I think the art style is actually by Sarah Pichelli, who did the very first Miles Morales comics, so she's returning for these, which is brilliant. And Miles Morales is actually using his Venom Blast there, and if you remember in the last issue of the Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales comics, Miles unleashed a new superpower, so hopefully we'll be seeing that in the future. And of course, I will be reviewing this series. Now it even says in the top left corner there, coming soon. And it shows these captured villains being flown over to this new prison. And you can see that Ox is being taken in there. We've got a few other villains. And the colours on this prison and just the whole shapes on top of it are very, very reminiscent of a recent villain out of the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows series. And as you can see, these inmates are not treated very well. And what I find absolutely hilarious is how he's put in this jail cell and it's literally just the size of his body. And that indeed is when you realise that it's not a jail cell, it's those tubes that kill the people out of the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. And of course, it is Regent. So yes, Regent has returned, and you guys are probably thinking, wait, how has Regent returned? That's impossible. Well, if you think about it, Secret Wars has ended and everything has pretty much gone back to normal, or that's what it seems like anyway. So Regent has obviously gone back to normal as well. So now he's returned to take everyone's powers again, or that's what it looks like. And it also said at the bottom there, continued in the Amazing Spider-Man pages, so I'm assuming will Regent be the main villain for this Amazing Spider-Man series at the minute? But that was the preview for the new Miles Morales series known as Spider-Man. You can see the front cover on screen, and if you click in the top right corner, you can go to my video to check out all the information of when it was announced and what it's going to be about, etc. if you are interested. Now we've finally finished this entire review. Finally, it is like a year long, I swear to God. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, smack that like button to let me know that you appreciated this video. And I tried to jam as much news and everything like that as I could into this video to get you guys informed for the new series coming out. But I am honestly going to give this a 10 out of 10 because it was jam-packed with everything. All the previews, all the information that we got, the new characters that we met, the Spider-Mobile, the new costume by Spider-Man. Parker Industries doing amazing, no pun intended. And just the overall comic as a whole was incredible. So 10 out of 10. Guys, what did you think? Let me know in the comments section below. And don't forget about that physical comic giveaway, which is being held on my Instagram. Remember, all you have to do is like the picture. You can follow me if you want to, but you don't have to. But as long as you like that picture, then you'll be entered into the giveaway. And I'll choose that winner when issue 2 releases. So we're coming to the end of the video, guys. But if you want to stay up to date in all the comic book news and updates, then go to my Facebook page by clicking the link in the description. You can also follow me on Twitter to hear about when my videos are being edited, when they're being uploaded, whether I'm having problems with them, and just for more comic book news in general on there as well. And last but not least, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for more, and I will see you all later.